On both sides of the football, I'm talking about up front. It's going to be a tough day. It was bad football the day that we played, and you end up with a game like that. If you look at the score, you say, hey, you had a chance to win. Never really were in it. Early on, of course, interception was big where we had a little momentum to be able to get something going then. Good play on the punt return to get the ball out. Good play by Steve Nelson to intercept the ball. But besides that, there's not a whole lot, to talk about. Defensively, we haven't been able to really stop the run all year. And today, that definitely showed up. And on the other side of the football, too, we say we want to run the football. And it's hard to get anything going when you can't run it. Take your question.
Lovie, you talk every week about trying to improve the run defense. Where do you go from here after what happened today?
Just like we've been doing after other days where we haven't played as well. Short week, so it's not like you can do an awful lot. Going to heal up, hopefully get a few guys back. We're a little short-handed right now and try to do a better job. We knew who we were playing, one of the best backs in the game. And that physical brand of football, we weren't ready to play that today.
Lovie, beyond the run game issues on defense, some of the penalties, having 12 men on the field, holding calls below blocks, some interceptions after turnovers. Where did all those mistakes come from in this game?
It'd be hard to say exactly. That's not something that we've dealt with. It's not like we've been a team that's been penalized a lot. So today we had too many. I acknowledge that.
Lovie, you kind of brought this up earlier when you were talking about how you weren't able to get the run game going. When you're unable to have that and your offense does become one-dimensional, how does that affect the way you go about the play calling?
It's just tough all the way around, once you get in favorable, of course, part of the game plan was to get in favorable third down situation, but that kind of start up front. When you can't run the football and you become a one, it's pretty obvious, down in distance on what we have to do. That's just tough. And we weren't set up today to be able to handle some of that.
Lovie, another week of a lot of missed tackles. How do you get back to the fundamentals?
We've been getting back to the fundamentals. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. Kind of simple as that. We practice each week. Believe it or not, we go over the fundamentals. Some days you miss tackles. Today was one of those days.
Lovie, with some of the offense today, where do you feel like the issues came from? Just being able to move the ball at all throughout the game.
It starts up front. My initial statement. When you get dominated up front on both sides of the football, part of the game plan, it's hard to get any game plan going. Offensively, for us, if they're in our backfield every time, you can't run, you can't pass the football. So every question you kind of ask me, it's going to come back to that. We're dominated up front, can't run our pass in those situations. And defensively, when it's easy, we have a starting quarterback out when you can turn and hand the ball off, and you can't tackle, it's going to be a game like that.
Lovie, when you have games such as this, you usually get a couple days to reassess the film and regroup. But when it's a short week and when there's a game on Thursday, how do you go about setting the tone in practice?
It's not going to be any practice, not much practice. Philly's not going to practice much either. We're going to have a walkthrough, and then we're going to play the game. That's what happens when you play a Thursday night football game. We knew the Thursday game was coming, so you prepare for that as best as you can. But they're going to be in the same situation as us, except for they're traveling. So it's not like you're going to put a whole lot of new things in. What we need to do after a physical game like that is just try to heal up as much as we possibly can and get ready to play.
Lovie, how tough is it now after this emotional loss to face an undefeated Eagles team Thursday night?
It's tough. It would have been tough any team that we played coming in here right now. But a team that hasn't lost, it looked pretty good. I had a chance to watch some of the game today. It's going to be tough when you're, maybe arguably the best football team in our league right now. Just that in itself, if we were playing our best ball. But, you also seem like when you play the top team, that should bring out the best. And this should have brought out the best when we're playing the top team in our division. We put a big emphasis on, and we played them a lot better than we did today. But we were a little short-handed, and we didn't play our best ball.
We'll take a few more.
Lovie, last week Davis looked like he had took a step forward in that Raiders game, but today it looked like he regressed. How did you go to the side to be able to talk to him to get him back on that page that he was on last week?
Well, that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say it's tough duty when you get dominated up front. It's tough duty for that. So Davis, I know we want to pick Davis out, but it's everything. We didn't run the football the way we've been running it, so that was a part of it too. We did not, the Houston Texans, our football team, under my leadership, did not play well today in all areas. That's the good thing about playing a Thursday game, as I see it. Back to that Thursday question. When you play like that, you ain't supposed to get back out there. I know we're better than that.
Take these last two.
Lovie, the trade deadline's coming up. Have you received any calls about Brandon Cooks?
No, we've been trying to, you know what we've been trying to do right now? All of our effort, didn't look like it today, but all our effort has been toward playing the best game against Tennessee. We're not, as you probably know, we're not into much of that right there. There's enough to keep us busy based on what's happening on our football field with our football team right now.
If I could just follow up, he was obviously your primary target last year. Why do you?
I'm sorry.
Obviously, he was your primary target last year, Brandon Cooks. Why do you think until this last drive you all were unable to kind of find him as well as other receivers today?
Let me go back again. You know, when you have a hard time protecting, it's kind of hard to get the ball to many people today. When you have a hard time blocking, it's kind of hard to get our running game going today. When you have a hard time getting off of blocks and missed tackles, you have a hard time of getting their big running back down. That was the day. Any question you ask kind of starts with that as we transition into, from there, when you play that bad, you can't wait to get back and get that bad taste out of your mouth. That's a good thing about having a Thursday game. Thank you.
The offense feels that it gets too one-dimensional because you can't get a run game going. Does that make it a little bit more pressure for you guys to step up when it comes to converting on third down, and especially for the year?
Yeah, definitely. Felt like we just really couldn't get the run game rolling today, which is obviously what we've talked about all year, focusing on. Put us in a lot of third and extra longs that are hard to convert, and just felt like that was the story of the day. Couldn't get much rolling.
And then when you look at this week, with it being a short week, how do you reassess without really going through the films or just go through walkthroughs and then prepare for Philly that it's still undefeated?
Yeah, we got a good team coming in this upcoming week at home. Got to watch this film early tomorrow morning, tonight, flush it, get the corrections, make the corrections, and then move on to next week. I think a lot of us already kind of know what happened this game and what we need to correct, and we're ready to move on and get a jump start on this upcoming game.
Davis, as one of the captains on this team, how do you go about keeping the confidence level high in the locker room in order to continue moving forward?
I mean, the mission's the same every week. You got to come in with that same mentality. I know I do. I mean, when it's hard, I mean, that's when you have to work the hardest. So the schedule's not what we like right now, or the record, but, I mean, everyone's coming in the building every day to put their best foot forward and display what they can to their best ability out there on the field.
Davis, Lovie was mentioning how things weren't going well offensively because of a lot of the pressure in the backfield. How did you try to address that throughout the game?
I mean, it's tough. A lot of it, we were trying to run the ball on first and second down. We might pop a run and then get some sort of penalty on the play that gets us pushed back. So just not much going for us today. They can bring pressure when they know it's a passing situation, and it's tough to defend some of those guys. They have some really talented players on the other side of the ball. Obviously, we'll see the film. I can't make all the corrections and tell you what went wrong right now, but, I mean, ready to see it tomorrow. And then, I mean, we got this game circled for later in the season when we go to Tennessee and see them again. So be ready for that. But like I said, see the film, make the corrections, and then move on to the Eagles early this next week.
And beyond some of the penalties that were there, too, I mean, I think in the first half, one to Cooks, one to Jordan, it seemed like the ball kind of fluttered a bit. Were those miscues? What was kind of happening there in the first half?
It was tough. I mean, some of them, I know 2 of them had it popped up. I got hit as I was throwing, so just tough. And then the interception, I mean, I just got to put it on his body. It was a little lack of execution of what we were trying to do. But still, I mean, got to be smart with the football and not throw it to the other team. So can't do much there.
Davis, Lovie mentioned the fact that having a game as tough as this one was, that the guys would be ready to get back on the field. Knowing this is a national game and you're facing the only undefeated team in the NFL, does that give you something positive to hang your hat on? Hey, we could get some redemption if we could come out here and pull off a huge upset Thursday night.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, I think it provides a lot of hunger for the team to move into this next week. Obviously, I mean, everyone in the league has the Eagles circled right now, being the only undefeated team, and I mean, we're ready to obviously make the corrections from this game, but play a really good football game this coming Thursday.
So Cody, Cole, and then Brooks.
Davis, when you take a look at your performance from last week and compare it to this week, what changed for you? I know every single week is different, but what do you think changed?
I felt like last week just stayed efficient. We were able to be dynamic and efficient on offense, running and passing. And this week, just shot ourselves in the foot too much. Got in bad situations that are tough to get out of, and I mean, it felt like that was kind of the story of the game. So this is one of those games. Can't do much. Flush it, move on to next week.
Davis, without going into too much detail of certain players, but knowing that there's several names that have been mentioned on the trade deadline coming up, do you feel like that's led to maybe some stringence or a little bit of miscommunication between you guys in the locker room?
I don't think so. I mean, everyone's focused on what's going on in this building. Not too much with what people are saying in the media. So, I mean, we're focused on what we got to do to win games.
Last one.
Davis, how do you feel like this game shows it or identifies you as an offense, and what can y'all do for the rest of the year to try and define it better?
I mean, we know what we got to do, obviously. I don't think our focus is going to change. We're obviously still going to try to run the football. Got to be better in that regard. And then other plays will happen as we continue to develop the run game. And if we notice we can't run the ball, we'll be able to mix in some different completion concepts and some just 11 personnel run game to mix it up that we'll be able to pop some plays. So, I mean, we'll keep moving forward and do what we need to do to execute our own stuff. And, I mean, we're looking forward. We still got a long season ahead of us, so a lot of winning football can be played.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.